So, you eat your treats. So, there's an interesting thing that happens in narrative games where a player will choose to do something entirely different from a character based on their own life experiences and knowledge. I like to call this player versus character. Maybe some other people do, I've not really seen people talk about it, but I think it's kind of interesting to look at, especially in regards to adventure games. And I figured we'd look at a couple, or at least today look at one game in particular and how it deals with player versus character. And so today we're looking at Gabriel Knight 3, Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned. So, some spoils ahead, but since we're talking about mechanics and quirks, I'm going to be as vague as possible when it comes to the spoils. In this you play as Gabriel and Grace in their first full 3D experience in alternating chapters. It's very King's Quest VII in that way. And while most things that you learn in this game is in the field of vision and, well, hearing vision of Gabriel and Grace, you can actually move the camera entirely independent of them, as long as you're still in the same overarching scene. Certainly the landscape that they made this in demands this. I mean, imagine waiting for Gabriel to walk all the way from this entranceway to the alleyway just to get some cat hair for a mustache. If you had to wait for him to take the entire journey there. No, instead he kind of just appears from behind you as if he was following you all along. The game kind of acknowledges that this view is unnatural, because it doesn't matter what you as the player learn, you can't actually do anything with that knowledge until Gabriel and Grace learn that thing. A good example of this is that Gabriel oversees a clandestine meeting between one person and a group of people that apparently didn't know each other. And unfortunately as the player, we can't actually follow them into the house and overhear their whole meeting. No, that would get rid of the mystery too quickly. But afterwards, one of these people sets an alarm clock in a window and walks away. And even though you as the player can, you know, move into a position where you can actually see what's going on, Gabriel won't actually acknowledge that something has happened until you do the puzzle to turn that alarm clock around and get him to acknowledge what time the next meeting is at. I often feel in games like this that you don't actually play the player character, you play their guardian angel, you know, that tells them what to do and how everything's going and everything is okay. But the way that this game doesn't actually do anything until Gabriel and Grace learn a thing kind of makes it a bit different. It's kind of like you're Joey in Blackwell, but Rosa never acknowledges you at all. Never. And the way that I talk about game solutions being more player knowledge than character knowledge has a weird subverted inversion in this, specifically for Gabriel. So in the second half of the game, Gabriel, Grace, and Mosley are cardboard cutouts of their former selves. I mean, sorry, that they're trying to work out who the bad guy is. And Gabriel floats this idea that a certain person is the bad guy, so he goes out and investigates it. And when he gets the confirmation that that person is the bad guy, he is absolutely gobsmacked. Like, he couldn't believe that this person is capable of this. And it's just like, this was your idea. Like, how do you go from being like, I know what's going on, to just being like, I cannot believe that this is going on. It's like if I went outside after saying the sky is blue and then being absolutely, like, destroyed by the fact that the sky is blue. It's just baffling. And I mean, by the time that Gabriel has this notion that this person is evil, they're the last character that has been introduced that could be. Like, this person is the last character, literally the last character that's introduced, and they're the only one that has no evidence proving that they're not evil. So the fact that Gabriel's dialogue and face just show him absolutely blindsided by this revelation is just gobsmackingly baffling. But then I suppose that Gabriel Knight 3 is kind of a weird dip in and dip out of being a whodunit mystery. It's like a miasma of mysteries that just kind of all curl into each other. Hell, you know, that might even be worth a video on its own. But, you know, I think we've pretty much talked about everything I can think of when it comes to player knowledge versus character when it comes to Gabriel Knight 3. So I think we'll leave it there. Now, if you've got any more questions or want to discuss this further, there are the comments below. If you've got any suggestions about what you'd like me to talk about in terms of character versus player, or player versus character, because I think that's more catchy, please put it down below, because after the couple that I've already got planned, I will be looking for more, and suggestions kind of help me lead that. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.